Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We're doing something a little different. I've got a different microphone and a different camera we're using to shoot with, and I think it's going to result in better video. This is a temporary audio fix because the lapel mics I had bought that were wireless I think are bad because they were introducing noise into the system and it just wasn't working, but I wanted to use the Canon to shoot the video with because it has less of a fisheye and more of a focused lens on it. So we're going to get better shots. I think we're going to get better video that way, especially as we're doing some of the actual build process. You can see things better rather than seeing the whole garage and you can't focus on what I'm doing. But we needed audio to go with it because the audio built into the Canon isn't that great. It doesn't have any range to it, so I said I've got to get wireless mics set up. So I bought lapel mics. They did not work. I tested and tried different things, and they're not going to work. I think they're bad. So they're going back. I'm getting another set, but I had this one. I use it with a PA system when I narrate our RC Expos at the Heritage Days Festival every year. So I thought, well, I'll break this out and see if it works. It appears it does for now. So until I get my little lapel mics, I'm going to be wearing this thing. But today's the day we start disassembly on the truck. We're going to get the engine out, we're going to get the doghouse off of it, get the frame cut, get the cab off, the doors, get the stuff we want to keep, which is going to be the cab, the doors, and the drivetrain, minus the rear end. And the 216 straight 6 and the 4-speed will get put away for a later project. The frame will get cut down for scrap, basically, because I originally thought about using this truck as a tow rig, and the more I thought about it, it's not going to have everything I want. So we're simply going to use the cab and the doors for the build, and that's going to give us the stuff we want to get started with. We can then build the frame, we can get it rolling, get this thing done. So I needed better audio, I needed better video. So I think we've got that covered for now until I get the lapel mics, and then that'll fix the audio part. I won't have to wear this thing. But I'm going to interject still pictures into this video and the next one until we get the thing down and stripped, because nobody wants to sit and watch you cuss and throw wrenches for, 4 hours of fighting with old bolts that have been on there 70 years and aren't going to come off. So I'm going to save everybody that, and we're just going to do highlight shots of everything coming apart. There'll be still photos that we'll just stick in the video. We may do a little bit of time lapse as we get farther into this assembly. But once the cab is off and in the garage and the doors are off, then we'll go to regular video feed, because that's where we're going to do the chop top and prep this thing to build the frame and get it put together, get it on its wheels, and turn it into something. So with that said, I'm going to go outside, start wrenching, get the top end off the motor, get the wiring, get the plumbing, get everything out of the way, drive shaft out, get everything done so I can get the engine pulled the next day or so. Then once the engine's out, then we're going to do some mods to the frame so we can get the cab off. And then we're going to be going and doing and having fun. So I'm going to wrap this and we'll get started today. This video will have some still shots towards the end of it. I'll edit this tonight after I've gotten today's work done. So you'll get to see kind of what I got done today on it. I'm not going to have any help probably all this week, so it's going to be just me doing it. So it's going to be a little slow. I'm still healing from the new knee, so I'm kind of limited in how much I can do. But I'm going to try and get as much done as I can. So that said, I'm going to wrap this video and get outside and get started working. So stay tuned. You know the drill. If you're new to the channel, like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll get to see this build as we do it. We'll have updates pretty regularly because this is going to go pretty quick. We've got most everything lined up. We've got a parts list. So this is going to be a fun build, and I don't think it's going to take that long. So that being said, stay tuned and let's get to work. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of our disassembly process. You can see we've got the front doghouse off. Give me a little bit of a struggle with some bolts, but we got it overcome. Today we're going to get the core support and the radiator off because I want to use this radiator for mock-up. We're going to get all of the wiring, belts, and hoses out of the way so that we can get ready to lift the engine out. I've got to pull the shifter out of the inside, disconnect the steering column, and a couple other little things. And then our goal is to get the front bumper off and be able to get an engine hoist in here. We're going to get the motor out. Once the motor's out, we're going to get the cab off. I've got some linkage done, hook for the clutch and the brake and a few other things. That shouldn't take more than a couple hours. We'll get all that done. Hopefully by the next time you see this, we'll be ready to take the cab off, or at least get the engine out, and we're going to be that much closer to having our cab that we need for the build. So we'll interject some more photos as we go today, and we'll update you once this part's done. Alright, so progress. I'm going to take you over here so you can see a little better. We have got the rear wheels off because I'm going to show you. Let me take you over here. Look at the size of these rear hubs in this spring pack. They're just absolutely huge on this 1.5 ton. But the wheels are off because if you look here, we have blocks under the cab on both sides. Everything is unbolted off the floor, including the steering column. We have the radiator out as I run my tripod into everything. We have the radiator out so we can use it for mock-up. We have the steering unhooked. I'm going to get you into focus here. We got the steering unhooked. We got blocks under the cab in the front. No, that's not my trailer, it's the next door neighbor's. Property line's right by the garage. But we've got the cab actually sitting up on wood. It is freed. It's ready to come off. So in order to do so, I'm going to use my engine hoist. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the rear end down to ground level, get on the frame and take the back window out, and I'm going to use my engine hoist through the back window to pick it up. We'll lift the cab off of the frame, and then we'll decide what we want to do with the rolling chassis. I'll have to put the wheels back on it obviously, but as you can see, the floor is not in bad shape, but because I am going to put a partial cage in this, the rest of the floor is going to come out anyway, so it's not a big deal. I will replace the A-pillar pieces that are bad. Get this tripod turned around here. But the big news is I wanted to have this part done by Friday, and today is, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. And the cab's ready to come off today, so we're ahead of schedule. That makes me happy. So I'm gonna let this frame down, start working my cab backwards, get it back to the back of the frame, and then get ready to take the back window out, get the engine hoist into the cab and get it supported, and we can pick this thing up and we'll have our cab. Alright, it is the end of day 2 of teardown. As you can see, the engine hoist is out, it's assembled. I've been using it. We had a casualty today. My little blue stool sitting in front of my chair there, I accidentally stepped on it wrong and broke it. Now I have to get another one. I really like that chair. But if you look, cab is blocked up, and tomorrow I'm going to pull out a couple of my 16-foot 4x4s that I have squirreled away for our shed build, and they're going to go underneath the cab side to side. I'll put some cinder blocks underneath them. They'll span the width of the frame and the wheels and the running boards, and I'll simply block up the cab, pull the chassis out from under it, set the cab down on its dolly, and it's ready to go in the garage. I've got the back window out, which basically kind of fell out, so that part's done. So I'll get a couple more still shots of today's stuff, and I'll edit this tonight. This will get posted. Today's, I don't know what today is, Tuesday, Wednesday, so let's see, Tuesday's trash day. Yeah, today's Tuesday. So we started this yesterday, Monday. So today's Tuesday. The cab will be off tomorrow morning after I go get cinder blocks because I don't have any here. And we'll have the cab off, and then we'll get her in the garage, get her braced up, and we'll get to start building. So I'm pretty happy today's work. I'm sore, my knee's giving me fits,
but I got a lot done, and so there's today's update. I'll get this posted tonight, and tomorrow we'll get to see the cab on the ground on its dolly. It'll go in the garage, and then it's time to start the work. See you guys. Have a good day.